All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is the Chief Medical Officer for Immunic Therapeutics, Dr. Andreas Mueller. And Dr. Mueller, it's good to have you along. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm doing fine, and thanks for having me today.
Yeah, excited to have you. And you got some news out about the company's Phase 3 Ensure program. And just sort of we get into the data we want to share, maybe just remind everyone a little bit about that program.
Yes, this is a phase 3 program of vidofludimus calcium in relapsing MS patients. So this is our most advanced clinical program for vidofludimus calcium, which is a medication or investigation medication that combines both neuroprotective anti-inflammatory properties. So it has a mix of a mechanism of action that really lend itself very well to how we understand now what relapsing MS is. We had very good phase 2 data that led to us initiating a few years ago a phase 3 program, and we have two large phase 3 studies ongoing in relapsing MS patients. Both of these studies are 1,050 patients in terms of sample size. They're quite well advanced already in terms of patient recruitment. And these are twin studies. So they're two protocols, exactly the same protocols, but done as independent studies. And we think that we expect them to read out in 2026.
Yeah. So today's data was positive. So explain to us what we're seeing from today's data and what the release is about.
Yeah, so what we had released is an interim analysis. So we have an interim look at the data. Um, and the purpose of this interim analysis was really to um, look at the pre-study assumptions that we made for this study, and check whether the actual data are in line with the pre-study assumptions. So because sometimes you have to take a guess in terms of how many relapse events you see or what the relapse rate is in relapsing MS patients. And you will also have to take a guess what the treatment effect, or what we call statistically the hazard ratio, is in these studies. And that determines the size of the study. And this is sometimes difficult to estimate. And of course, sometimes you see in the recent two relapsing MS readouts, there were way too few relapse events, for example, in there, and the study failed. So that's a very important thing to check, we believed. And the interim analysis that we published basically looked at these assumptions by an unblinded independent data monitoring committee. So we stayed blinded. We don't have all of these information that these IDMC received, and they checked whether the study with its current sample size is able to or is still powered to produce the data that we believed it should produce.
Yeah, and they're recommending the trials continue, obviously, as you mentioned a bit earlier. So this is quite the one over 1,000 patients, as you brought to our attention, 100 sites, 15 countries. So next stages now. When do you expect to get more data out of this? Will it be at the end of the study?
Yes, so this is not as usual that you do an interim analysis on a phase 3, and uh, not all trials do this. We
Mhm.
felt it was necessary because for us, this is a large investment into a phase 3 trial as a biotech company. And we also believe that it de-risk a trial if you have an interim look and basically allow to check out pre-study assumptions. So that then basically for this program, our phase 3 program in relapsing MS, the next would be the readout or the completion of the studies in 2026. This is where we get the final data, and that will hopefully then be used to apply for approval for this drug. And we are very hopeful now about the outcome, because with the interim analysis yesterday, basically it said that the study is in line with the pre-study assumptions and is powered in a sufficient way that it has a chance or has the opportunity to show the outcome in 2026 that we hope for.
Mhm.
It's not guaranteed, but I think there's a I think it basically confirmed that the drug seems to work in this trial. And that's why we're very hopeful about the readout.
Yeah, absolutely. Important words, important study as well. Dr. Mueller, thanks for the update. Really appreciate it, and look forward to our next conversation. Okay.
Thank you very much, Steve.
All right. There's Dr. Andreas Mueller. He is the Chief Medical Officer for Immunic Therapeutics.